Hey, welcome to my channel for a very short video about something which I find particularly interesting, a feature of Next.js together with TypeScript. So let's dive straight in. So in this simple demo setup, I'm using NX with Next.js. And so NX already comes with TypeScript support out of the box, and TypeScript within NX is a first-class citizen really. So you have all the jest setup, TypeScript configs already generated for you whenever you set up a new workspace or a new Next.js application. Now, one thing that is particularly interesting with TypeScript, specifically with Next.js, is how you pass data from the various properties such as getStaticProps or getStaticPaths. So let's assume we have this simple getStaticProps function, which really just does nothing else than return here some static data in this simple case. Now, obviously, whenever it comes to my page function, I would want to have that data typed. So whenever here, for instance, I get the props in, regardless whether I destructure it or take the entire object. So if I type here props dot, I would like to get out completion support to whatever has been passed on by the getStaticProps. Now, what I could do, of course, is to define here an interface at the very top level and have that also specified here within my page function, such that I then get autocomplete support. But obviously, I would also need to make sure to define it in my actual getStaticProps function, which in Next.js you can do like this. So that makes sure that the actual data returned from this function here is actually type safe. Now, this results in a lot of typing. So I need to define at the very top my interface, which is the getStaticProps data, which we just did. I have to assign it to my actual function, my page function, and also in the getStaticProps function itself, I have to return it. Now, most of the time, we really just want to return the data structure from our getStaticProps and have the data inferred automatically. Now, turns out you can exactly do that. If you go to the Next.js org docs, there's a data fetching article, and that has a section about TypeScript, specifically about getStaticProps. And if you scroll a bit down on that, you can see there is a type called InferGetStaticPropsType. Now, this looks very interesting, so let's have a look what it is about. So back in our IDE, what we can do is actually import the InferGetStaticPropsType. And now we can go down here, remove this type that will return from our function, so have this completely auto-inferred. And instead of having the type definition up here, we can actually go to our page function and say that this type of props here is of type InferGetStaticPropsType, type of getStaticProps. Now, if I go down here again, and let's have a look where this actually works, you can see it perfectly infers my type. I can even go and delete this and destructure it right away up here and get type completion that way also. So that's a pretty neat feature, I find. First of all, it saves us a lot of keystrokes, a lot of complexity. It still gives us all the type safety that we want, and also the flexibility to dynamically adjust the data structure returned by getStaticProps, and still the type will be inferred automatically. So if you enjoyed this, definitely make sure you subscribe, hitting the button on my YouTube channel to make sure you get notifications for all of the upcoming videos, and make sure you go to Twitter and follow me there.